Welcome, everyone. This is Diane Sharp from the Wharton MBA program for executives. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get started in just a minute or so. We want to give everybody a chance to log on. You should be seeing our Wharton slide there with a picture of Philadelphia and a picture of San Francisco. So thanks for your patience. We'll get started in just a minute. All right, going to get started now. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Diane Sharp. I'm the Director of Admissions for the Wharton MBA program for executives in Philadelphia. And with me here in Philly today is Alicia Rogers, who is the Admissions and Events Coordinator for us. Joining us on our San Francisco campus are our counterparts, Barb and Quen. Barb.
Yes, good morning from beautiful, sunny San Francisco. I'm Barbara Kraft, Director of Admissions here at Wharton San Francisco, along with Quinn Tran, our Associate Director, who will be out here fielding your questions. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. So yeah, we'll get started now. This is the title we picked was, "Is Wharton a good fit for you? 10 things you should know." So these are things that we're particularly proud of. And we're going to go through them slide by slide, and we want to encourage you to use the chat module to post questions along the way. As Barb mentioned, Quen and Alicia will be monitoring those and making sure you get all your questions answered. So we're going to get started with the first item in no particular order, but we are the program that is most consistently ranked #1. So as everyone is aware of, there are plenty of rankings out there. So, you know, programs are going to go from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 3 to 1, and each ranking is based on different things. So we feel it's important for you to understand what's behind each ranking and understand what the schools are being rated on. But more importantly, you need to look what's included in that program itself. So they're not comparing, you know, apples to apples, as they say. So, you know, if a ranking is important to you, we want you to just look over all the various rankings, and you will notice that our program is consistently at the top. All right.
I think a real beauty, yes, I think a real beauty of the Wharton program is that we are one program with 2 locations. So our class 44, that is our 44th class, through the executive program, is getting ready to start here the end of May. In Philadelphia, they recruit a class 44. San Francisco, we recruit a class 44. And it is one big happy class, just 2 locations. So we'll start off together in Philadelphia for orientation, both East and West. And then after the orientation week that we do together, everybody will kind of go back to their respective location for the 2-year program. But that's not the end of the joint sessions. Actually, a little further on in the program, we do bring then the Philadelphia class out to San Francisco for a week-long marketing simulation class here on the San Francisco campus. Students are also able to participate, both East Coast and West Coast students, in our global modular courses, and we'll do a little bit more of a deeper dive into those momentarily, but those are courses where our students go remote and abroad for a few-day period, and both the East and West students are able to participate in those elective courses, as well as our required Global Business Week, which is in the 2nd year of the program. We have a week-long Global Business Week where we offer 4 different locations, and both the East and West students participate in that particular week, so that, again, the audiences are mixed.
Great, yeah, and we're really looking forward to having everybody out here, because it means also the staff comes and joins us in Philadelphia for that first week. It's really always a fun time.
And the nice thing is, in particular, is that with one program, 2 different locations, if a student would find themselves being relocated in their second year of the program to one coast or another, they can jump in and participate in the other class. Now, that's just in year 2. In year 1, we ask that you stay with your particular coast, but in year 2, you could possibly take the year in Philadelphia or in San Francisco if you're a Philadelphia student. You could just take one particular class there if you would like, or you could do it an entire term. So there's a lot of flexibility between the 2 locations.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixing and matching in year 2, which is great. So one thing we're particularly proud of is that our students earn a Wharton MBA. It is the Wharton MBA degree. It is not a diluted version. Wharton is very protective of its MBA, so we wouldn't want 2 different versions of it. And that is why I feel one of the main reasons we're consistently highly ranked. Our students are in class with Wharton professors the same number of hours as the full-time students are. And that is why we have to add 2 semesters. So basically, you have to, because our students are all working, have very busy lives, families for the most part, we can't load them up with classes the same way the full-timers are, but we have to add time to the end of the degree. So it is the same degree. That being said, that's why we have the same admissions process as the full-time, or this, I should say, the same admissions requirements, not process. It's a bit different logistically, but we need to vet our applicants the same way as our full-time admissions counterparts at Wharton are vetting theirs, because the professors, they are not doing anything on the light version. In fact, I think they have higher expectations of our students because they're bringing with them more experience. And so that's why it is so important for you to visit every program that you're considering. It's such a big undertaking, a lot of resources, not just financially, energy, and it's going to be on your resume for a lifetime. So when you come to to Wharton in the executive format, you're earning a Wharton MBA. It is the same return on investment as you would do it if it were full-time MBA here at Wharton. And we also say you're getting the best return on education as you can. For every course you take and every dollar you spend, the impact on your resume and your career for a lifetime is exponential.
I have a few questions coming in. One question, is there any variation at all? For example, does San Francisco focus a little more on tech?
Yeah, I can take that. I would say it does not focus any more on tech, but we do get more, certainly, tech applicants and more entrepreneurial applicants just due to geography. That said, we recruit as diverse a class as possible, and there are the tech perspectives added because of all the large tech companies here. But I wouldn't say there's any more of a focus. In fact, you can make the degree what you would like it to be with our large selection of electives, which I think we're going to talk about here shortly.
And I have another question. Is this program specifically focused on finance leadership, or is it focused on technology leadership as well?
So, and I'll take that one. As Barb just mentioned, there is no specific focus. It can be as focused as much or as little on what you want it to be. Yes, there are tech folks on both coasts. Proportionally, there would be more in San Francisco due to the nature of where they are, that market. But we have many here, and we have healthcare and finance folks here, and they have them in San Francisco. It's all just different degrees. That being said, everyone's taking the same core curriculum in the first year, the Wharton core that the full-timers take. And then the second year, you are taking whatever electives you want. If you want to take every finance course you can get your hands on, feel free to. If you want to take any data analytics courses or entrepreneurial management courses, that's up to you. We, in fact, don't require a major because our students, they're further along in their career. They're generally here to get just leadership tools in whichever way they want them. So take the courses that are most meaningful and impactful for you and your career. You have 30 to choose from, but you only need 9 to graduate. So it's up to you how you want to spend them. Everybody's doing their own thing. So the focus is up to you.
Yep, and that said, sometimes people load up in a particular area and find themselves with a major, even if they maybe didn't intend to take one.
Exactly. Yeah. If the courses that mean the most to you do add up to meet a major, that's great. But don't go into it that way thinking I have to have a major at this level in your career. That should not be your priority. Your priority should be learning. Great. Thanks, Alicia. We'll go on to the next slide.
So we do like our students to really have the full MBA experience. And with that in mind, we do require that our students stay the class weekends that they're on campus. So the program is 2 years, every other weekend, all day Friday, all day Saturday, with an occasional Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So therefore, and because we get students from all over the country and actually even all over the world, flying in, training in, busing in, etc., we do then require that they all stay at the local hotel. And we take care of all those logistics. And the reason we do that, even for our students that perhaps live blocks away from the hotel, we still make that part of the experience, because we really want everyone to set their personal and professional busy lives aside to fully immerse themselves into this environment, in the academics, and into the classmates, and the opportunity to network and get to know your classmates. You have really great people from all over the world, and there'll be times, even after class hours, that you'll have activities, whether those are planned by one of our class managers, to socialize with the class, network with the class, or even continue coursework sometimes into the evening, whether it's study sessions or so forth. So that residential component is very important to us. In San Francisco here, our faculty fly out to teach in the program, so they're also staying at the same hotel. So during lunches and dinners, and you'll get a lot of interaction with our faculty as well as your other classmates. So you're really getting that true Wharton experience. And I often get asked the question, well, because I live so close, can I have this backed out of my tuition and just go home in the evening? No, we do not back it out of tuition. We have our tuition completely inclusive because we're so passionate about that experience and wanting students to, again, fully immerse themselves, not be distracted in any way, and really provide that time to yourself to dedicated learning.
Great. As we've been sharing, the student body in the East and West is very diverse. We have a variety of industries represented and functional areas within those industries. So what happens when our students get here is the environment is super collaborative. People are not here to say, I got to get the best GPA or I got to get the most job offers. Those are what happen. That's what happens in the undergrad or the full-time experience. Our folks want to learn from each other, and then they know what they know, and they know what they want to learn from somebody else. You've got bankers and physicians and attorneys and consultants and entrepreneurs, and it's such a great environment. The students always say they love to learn from they learn as much from their classmates as they do the professors, and the professors are more than fine with that. They understand it too. The professors are learning from these individuals too, because there's a lot of experience in every classroom, and that's what you're going to want to check out as you visit all the programs and you hear what the students are sharing in their classes and over lunch. What is the quality and the level and just the environment in general that is going to have that impact with your career that you need.
And just to add to that, I think often you'll learn as much from your classmates because it is such a rich experienced audience with people from all over and very diverse backgrounds and industries as you will from the academic learning. And because people are further along in their career, as Diane mentioned, at the end of the day, they're not competing for the same job, and they realize it takes a village. So they're really out there to help one another, which is nice.
Yeah, it really is. It's a nice thing to observe for us as well.
Just a reminder to keep posting your questions, and we'll do everything we can to get to every one of them. Wharton is really rich in global opportunities. So in the executive program in particular, we have in the second year of the program, we have a required global business week. We want to make sure that you get abroad to really learn how business is being conducted in other countries. With that in mind, we offer 4 different locations to our students for our Global Business Week, and we offer those up to both the East and the West Coast students. And then you as an individual will pick and choose the location that you're most interested in. And every year those locations vary. From last year was Asia, Africa, Argentina, and Spain. And this year, it's looking about the same, except we have replaced Spain with Finland. In addition to that required Global Business Week in the second year, you do have the option for something called Global Modular courses. I talked about that a little bit earlier. And what those are is they're intensive courses that are anywhere from 3 to 7 days, offered and led by Wharton faculty around the world. We have actually 15 different options for those. Again, they vary by year and faculty availability and location, but they're fabulous courses that are offered up to both our executive students, East and West, as well as our full-time students, since it is the same degree. If you were to participate in a global modular course, you would be in a mix of all 3 audiences likely. So second year students get priority on those, but also we do sometimes have first year students that are able to participate, and they're a great way to fill in elective credit.
Right. Perfect. So yeah, everyone is interested in getting an MBA for career reasons, and each of you has a different career reason. So we have a variety of resources to help you figure it out. People come here and joke that they want to figure out what they want to be when they grow up, but you know what? If you come with an open mind, you should have the opportunity to consider a few things. That being said, everyone is required to be fully employed throughout the 2 years. Your company is basically coming here with you, and they are benefiting from it right away. So the model is different. Yes, we do have an executive career coaching team. We have Dawn in Philadelphia and Steve in San Francisco, and Karina supports both of them. But it's coaching. It's not career placement. It's not on-campus recruiting. All of that is for junior people. The students in our program are much further along in their careers. The companies are not sending their representatives to campus to hire. There's just not that volume. Everybody in our course has a different and our courses have a different background, different goals. So there's just not enough of you in one area to warrant that kind of model. So Dawn and Steve really work with each of you. It's as if you have your personal career coach to figure out what you want in the first year. And once you figure it out, how to make that happen, how to use the Wharton network. That is the most impactful thing that is happening to you, is you are going to have full access to the global Wharton network. So Dawn and Steve teach you how to make the most of it, to get those opportunities. Again, we know that's what you want. We also have executive coaching. That is a bit different than career coaching. It's not about getting a job. It's about what is your image. What are you putting out there? Every single student is able to sign up for an executive coach. You get 5 sessions, and it's not required, but most people take advantage of it because it really does complement what the Dawn and Steve are doing in your career. So you get a 360 feedback full of good information from people you work with. So it's a really helpful thing to make the most, again, of moving forward. So what Dawn and Steve like to say is they are going to give you the tools to manage your career over your lifetime, because they know for a fact that just because you graduate with your Wharton MBA, you may get a new job shortly thereafter, you're not going to be satisfied. You're going to change jobs again a few years down the road. Our students are always looking to be challenged, and there are alumni career services as well. but they want to set you up for success. And I think the challenge is finding the time to take advantage of all that Dawn and Steve have to offer, because it's continual. I think while you're on campus, webinars like this, in between campus sessions, so there's a lot to take advantage of.
So we have a number of entrepreneurs in the program, and entrepreneurs, when it comes to entrepreneurs applying to the program, we like to make sure that people's businesses are far enough along that they can step away every other weekend without them coming crashing down. And so we're really, when we're evaluating entrepreneurs applying to the program, that they really have their businesses off the ground and they are substantial businesses with good revenues and a number of employees. But we also have those budding entrepreneurs, and it seems that even if somebody isn't thinking of perhaps being an entrepreneur when they're applying, oftentimes our students, they get here, they start learning so much, they're connecting with so many interesting people, that then they start thinking about, well, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could step out and be an entrepreneur. So we have lots of resources for that, for both our entrepreneurs that are further along and for our budding entrepreneurs. So we do have a business plan competition at the Wharton School for those people who are launching new ideas. And in fact, we have 2 finalists right now from the San Francisco class that are participating in that competition. And then we have Scale School for our entrepreneurs that are very successful entrepreneurs and in the program and looking to scale their businesses. In addition, on both coasts, we do have on-site programming and various workshops supporting our entrepreneurs and our wannabe entrepreneurs, and also one-on-one coaching, both from faculty and advising from faculty on entrepreneurial ideas, and for our entrepreneurs that have businesses, and for even for family businesses. So that said, workshops, advising, personal coaching on both fronts.
Yeah, it's so interesting to see. So some folks don't start the program realizing they're an entrepreneur, but halfway through they meet somebody and come up with ideas, and they take a direction in that regard. So it's again, fun to watch. So we're down to our last 2 points, and I just want to again encourage folks to post any questions about any of the slides that we've seen already. I know a lot of you have admissions questions, and those are always going to be pretty specific to you. So what we would encourage you to do is there is a form on our website where you can request an appointment. So we would encourage you to request a phone chat. That is the best way to get a kind of a quick overview of your background in the program. So once you've kind of looked over our website to make sure that the format and everything else about the program is right for you, you'll request a chat via that form with Barb or me, and then we can give you some tips as you move forward in the application process if it seems like the right way to go. And we'll also have a few minutes at the end here for any other questions that we don't get to. All right, so the faculty, of course, this is what basically puts Wharton on the map. You might listen to Wharton Business Radio. There's different faculty on that with regular shows. It's amazing all the different topics they hit. And then they, as I mentioned, really enjoy interacting with our students. Yes, these are the experts who government and business turn to for their expertise, but they also realize that business is an evolving topic. What is happening in the economy impacts us directly, and they are evolving along with it. So the research that's done here and how it's used by the public and private sectors, it's almost as if there's so much going on. We get our pen newsletters in our email inboxes every day, and it's just amazing what goes on at this institution. Because I want to remind you, it's not just Wharton. This is the University of Pennsylvania with an amazing healthcare and engineering and law and everything. So our business students can take advantage of that as well and partner with all the other schools here.
To add to that, I would encourage everyone out there that's interested in the Wharton School to look at Knowledge at Wharton, which is the Wharton newsletter, and you can jump online. If you Google Knowledge at Wharton, you can subscribe to Knowledge at Wharton and see all the latest and greatest that's happening at the Wharton School. The other thing is tune into our radio show, Sirius XM channel 111 for Wharton Radio. Wharton has the largest alumni network of any business school in the world, with over 96,000 Wharton alumni worldwide. And that is just the Wharton School. That doesn't include all of University of Pennsylvania, which would be a whole nother layer of network for you. But at the Wharton School, with this huge alumni base, we do have chapters all over the world. Pretty much in any region of the world where you would go, you would find a Wharton chapter, and very active and connected networks there for you, as well as we have global forums each year around the world, the Wharton School does, as well as some local events and activities that happen. So it is the motto of the Wharton School that as an alum, you take the call. So it's a very tight network. As a reminder, we are posting our application deadlines. This year, they will be December the 5th and February the 6th for our class that will start in May. As Diane mentioned, we'll be doing a number of additional webinars over the next number of months. So we're hoping that you will tune in with us. And also that you'll come and visit us and sit in on a class and give the program a try. In a few months, we'll be opening up our campus to class visits. And starting with, as Di mentioned, a phone chat. It's a great way to start, and you see our phone chat form out there. Great way to get connected and get some individual questions answered.
Perfect. So, and Alicia says we do have a couple more questions as we draw to a close here.
If it is the same degree, why is it more expensive than the standard MBA?
I'm happy to take that one. So if you take our tuition, which is one price, this year the class starting will be paying $205,200 for May of 2018 through May of 2020. That covers everything except getting here. So it's your academics, the cost of the classes, the books, the room and board for when you stay, that sort of thing. So then if you take what Wharton charges for their full-time program, it is about $103,000 a year. And if you double that, that's $206,000. Big difference too is we don't change our rate. Theirs goes up every year. And our students have an income throughout that 2-year period. They don't lose 2 years of career trajectory. So if you actually do the financial analysis of I can only speak for Wharton, I'm comparing our executive and our full-time, it's actually less expensive.
Right, you'd actually be further ahead.
Yeah.
How many electives did you mention that you offer?
Well, the Wharton School has over 200 to offer. So because our programs are smaller, we have 110, 120 in each coast. We can't offer 200 electives to them. So our students narrow it down to about 30. So the West Coast is narrowing down to their 30 and the East Coast to their 30, and you need 9 to graduate. And there's some overlap. There's always some electives that both coasts like negotiations and so forth. But then there's a lot of differences. And that was, as Barb mentioned, you take a look in your second year to see what each coast has each term, and if one is more meaningful you on the opposite coast, you do have the option to try that. So it is by far the most options of any executive MBA program, because you've got East and West, you have 30 to choose from on each coast, and you only need 9, and you have global modular courses and independent studies. So it's basically, I challenge you to find any program that has that depth of option.
And so the way it works is that students do get the option to look at all 200 electives, and each coast votes upon those 200 to come up with that short list of 30 or so. And those 30 or so are by coast. So as Diane mentioned, if East chooses something different than West, and you have an East student that's passionate about what West chose, they can always come West, and vice versa.
Another question regarding electives. Is year 2 all about electives, or do the core courses run into year 2 as well?
Year 2 is all electives.
Yeah, the only distinction is that global business week that Barb mentioned. That's a required week, and it happens in your 5th term, 5 out of 6. But you decide on where you're going. Basically, our students in our first year are confirming where they're going right now, and then they gear up for it over the summer, and that happens in the fall. But the rest is all electives.
Is the course involved? Do the courses involved have any international travel?
Yes. Well, the course, obviously the Global Business Week is a week abroad, so that does require international travel. The Global Modular courses, those are elective courses. So if you choose to go on them, yes, you'll be traveling, but you don't need to necessarily choose those. With other electives, no. And with other core courses, no global travel, just the Global Business Week.
And we'll be getting the calendar for the next entering class up. It'll probably be early autumn. So what's up there now is the 2-year calendar for the students who will be starting next month. And you'll see the general pattern. You can take it and kind of superimpose a year on it to see what the general pattern is for 2 years. So we do want you to be really comfortable with that schedule, because you do need to be in Philadelphia or San Francisco. A lot of people think, well, I might miss a weekend or two. But that's not something that is sustainable. You need to be here. The learning happens in your teams, in class discussions. So plug those dates into your calendar and know that that's why we need your company to understand that you're applying. So they're going to give you those Fridays off when you need to be in class.
Just a few more questions about the Global Business Week. Is it for 1 week or 2? And is there a time of year that this week takes place?
It's 1 week, and it's September. And so you just do it one time. So if you start, the class is starting this May, they're going to be doing their travels September of 2019. Any others?
Nope, that's.
And if we didn't get to your question, we will look through all the questions. They came fast and furious. We will get an answer to you offline here. All right, so we hope that helped you kind of get an overview of why we feel the Wharton MBA program for executives is the best program out there. I want to turn it over to Barb for some final words.
Just to say thank you for joining us. Please stay in close touch. We're just getting going with recruiting for our next class. As I mentioned, our current class is going to start. Our new class will start in May. So we're just starting off the recruiting season. This is our first webinar. We'll be having many more. So, keep in close touch and watch the postings out there, and join us for another webinar coming up, or come and visit us in a few months, sit in on a class, do a phone chat. And then as we get into our application process, as a reminder, our deadlines are December the 5th and February the 6th for a start next May. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Look forward to meeting you soon.